All right, so today I'm going to be applying some sweet patina, but before I do that, I'm going to go through and take down a little bit more of some of this primer that somebody's put on here, get down to some more of the original paint. As you can see, I've already started that, and it's kind of gotten down to the jade and some of the primer where it looks like somebody had already sanded this down and put some black primer over top of it. So I'm going to kind of cut that back down some more. And there's some surfaced rust and such that I'm going to take down with a Scotch-Brite pad. I may go through and polish it, just depends on exactly what I see and what I find. And then I'm going to apply that sweet patina and then try out that happy ending final detail white. Alright, so I've got some hot water and some car wash soap just in a little pump sprayer here. And I'm just going to go over and just find different spots that I need to address. Like in the video you might have seen the little side mirror here where it looks like a side mirror might go. It's kind of rusting some. So I'm going to go ahead and knock that down just to kind of nip that and go from there. One thing I forgot to mention is I'm going to have a little bucket with some warm water and soap just to wash out these pads, just because otherwise they're going to clog up with that old paint and everything. This will just help kind of keep them dry, or not dry, but keep them clean, and then also will help keep them lubricated too, so that way I don't have to use the pump sprayer as much. One thing I'm going to have to pay attention to is this pinstriping. I'm not going to wet sand over that because that is going to obviously come off. It's just a thin layer of pinstriping. Get as close to as I can, just to get rid of some of the fingerprints that are in the paint, some of the streaks, stuff like that over the years. Old crappy primer, with that water on there. Gosh, that looks good. Obviously it's not going to stay this glossy. It'll dry out, it'll become kind of satin, and then I will apply the sweet patina to it. Shifter. Looks pretty cool. Alright. What I'm doing now is I'm going to grab me my air line and a air nozzle, and I'm going to just kind of blow the trim with some compressed air, hopefully work some of this water out so that way I can hopefully do this today while the sun's out. I really like to see the results in the sun, so I'm going to go ahead and get started on that. Alright, so I'm going to get ready to go ahead and apply the sweet patina. It says all you have to do is just pull this cap off and add to a microfiber cloth and begin wiping. They do say that if you want a little bit more of some shine, you should do a few more coats. So I'm going to start with one and go from there. Alright, so the next thing is to go ahead and buff the surface. So we're basically just like a wax, just going to go right back over everywhere we went. And we'll see how it ends up, see if we want to do more coats. So far it looks pretty good after I buffed everything off. I have not used the happy ending stuff just yet. But I will next. So, this came out pretty good. This is all under just some LED lights, but I'll get this thing in the sun after I do the happy ending and I'll show you guys. Alright, so I've got the BEL AIR all wrapped up. We've got the sweet patina across it, put the happy ending on, and it looks great, really. I mean, it took this paint from being kind of chalky, especially after doing a lot of wet sanding, and really made it very uniform. Gave it, like it said, a really good sheen all the way across it. You can see the sun starting to come out now, so I'm sure some of it's probably starting to show if it's not overexposing. But it looks great. I'm very happy with it. All in all, I think it took me, minus the wet sanding, if you're just doing a quick wash on it, of course it'd be shorter. So it probably took me a couple hours, maybe. This is one coat, and I was very deliberate in my application. Wanted to make sure I got everywhere, so I took a little more time maybe than the normal person would. But so far, it's been a very easy product to apply, very easy product to kind of buff off. And then to put the happy ending on is just like your normal spray wax application, where you're just spraying it on, crossing it all across the panel, and then buffing it off. And I just finished up and drove it out here. It looks great. Looking down the hood, you can see a good reflection of everything. It's really nice. It's, like I said, got a good sheen. The main reason that I wanted to use the sweet patina stuff is because I actually posted on Facebook about, I was looking at a couple different products, not really sure what to do, hadn't heard a whole lot of reviews about some of the products on the market. I've seen a lot of people that really like the sweet patina stuff, but I wasn't sure if a wipe-on application or preserver was going to be my kind of route. But the owner of Sweet Patina actually contacted me, reached out once. I think someone maybe sent my post to him, but he reached out and really kind of spent a good bit of time on the phone with me, kind of going over the product and what it does, and you know, the merits of it and such. And it really sold me because he was taking his time out of his day, which he sounded quite busy, especially with the holiday very close. This was back before Christmas, and he took his time out of his day to talk with me. He told me to call him anytime. So I really appreciate that. It's things like that that really make a difference. And I have to say, someone who's willing to do that and put themselves out there and speak with the customers directly, most of the time has a very good product, because they know then that if someone buys it and it's not good, they can reach them really easily. But I'm super happy. Just the short drive over here from my neighborhood, about 5 minutes down the road, everybody's looking over and you know, wave. Of course, it's an old car, so people are going to do that. But it really looks great, and I really think it shows the intent. Just because it's not just some barn find that I pulled out and I just drive. It's something that I intend to take care of. But like I said, all in all, very happy, very happy. That can seems like it's going to go a very long way, 'cause I didn't use much. Once that rag gets nice and saturated, really didn't have to use much. But no, like I said, very happy. So thank you again, Sweet Patina, for the call and talking through the product with me. I'm glad that I went with you guys, so thank you.